You make my earthquake.
Hello everyone, welcome to the BAME Creative / MTW Cultural Performance Showcase! So, just a bit explain about what the showcase actually is. It's the first year we're doing this event. Oh, there is someone outside the door. You can come in. Just sit anywhere guys, we just started. It's all good. Well, people. Good night, people. So, this showcase is the first by MTW and BAME Creatives, hoping to help us all engage with the different side of performing arts at the university. I know, for example, last year, I never would have seen something like we're going to see today, stuff from Afrofest, from TAP, those kind of things. So it's just nice to expose stuff to other stuff and to have those people come to us and see what we've got to offer as well.
We just want to give a huge shout out to MTW as well. This night is in collaboration with them because they're just as committed as BAME Creatives as trying to really diversify the theatre scene at work.
Yeah. So, some of you here might not know actually what BAME Creatives is. So BAME Creatives is a new society set up this year by a group of us. I'm the president.
And I'm Treasurer and Equal Opportunities Officer.
Exactly. And the point of our society is to help, as I've said, increase diversity in more performing arts. I know last year, being like a BAME performer in a predominantly white art form, like musical theatre, I found a lot of times where I was in productions or I was going to see events and I was the only person of colour that was there, especially in my first year as well. So this society is meant to kind of like help people of colour find others that own similar things, but also help everyone like see a different side to performance, and cultural performance is just like other aspects that you never would have seen before. Yeah.
I think the conversation about diversity can often be quite uncomfortable, so we as a creative kind of just want to eradicate that myth. It's not uncomfortable, we can all talk about it. Exactly. He's brown, I'm brown, okay? Like, we can all get along. And yeah. No, I also wanted to say actually, a phrase that we throw around a lot is that this society was created in order to be made redundant. So we hope in a couple of years there's no need for a BAME Creatives, because we hope that the scene at work will get that integrated that we don't even need it anymore.
That's the dream. So obviously, if you pay for a ticket, hopefully, next weekend. Tickets tonight were £2, 50 pence going towards the Belgrade Theatre in Coventry. So I recently had a meeting with them last term, and they're talking about their great BAME performance programs for both Black and Asian minorities that are really struggling to get to performance. So it's really like opening a different avenue to those that would never have the chance before, which I think is really great. But that's just in Coventry. We'll be having a lot of collaborations with them in the future. They are a charity this year, and for our show that's coming up at the end of this term, Proudly Affectionate, which is great. But they've been really supportive, and they were really supportive about tonight as well, and they've really helped us out. So everything's going to go towards them, more 50p of each ticket, to support them, which is great.
Cool. And at the end of the night, we'll have an open mic segment. Yeah. So anyone that wants to show their talent, come up.
I know there's times people right here.
So if you want to do that, just wait till the end and just use your hand up sort of system.
Yeah, tonight's going to be super chill. We're not like doing the stuffy, like, oh, this is like everyone's trying the hardest, because everyone just wants to chill, have a great time, see something different. And like, we don't want to take stuff too seriously, because we're in a field in Coventry, realistically. So, to start, we have the amazing,
wonderful, amazing,
talented. All the adjectives. Azim.
Hi guys.
So I'm going to perform Location first, and that's off of karaoke, and then after I'll perform an original.
Send me your location list. Focus on communicating, cause I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location list. Ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you. At times I wonder why I fool with you. This is new to me, this is new to you. Initially, I didn't want to fall for you. Gathered my attention, it was all for you. So don't take advantage. Don't leave my heart damaged. To understand that things go a little bit better when you blend in. So won't you send me your location list? Focus on communicating, cause I just need the time and place to come through. So send me your location list. Ride the vibration, cause I don't need nothing else but you. I wanna fall in love over so please. So let's get personal. I got a lot of cool spots that we can go. Tell me what's the mood and I got you. I'm only acting like this cause I like you. Girl, give me the vibe to slide in. No, I might make your mind by the night. So send me your location list. Focus on communicating, cause I just need the time and place to come through. Just send me your location list. Ride the vibration, cause I don't need nothing else but you. Ride, come and ride with me tonight. I don't need nothing else but you. Ride, come and ride with me tonight. I don't need nothing else but you. Nothing else but you. I don't need nothing else. I don't need nothing else but you.
So the next one's going to be an original, and I'm going to need my really good friend and flatmate Sophie. So this song's called To My Most Precious Friends. I hope you guys like it.
It used to be so easy. Nobody else could hurt me, cause no one could just come in or out. So no one could ever let me down, no. But your words were just unheard of. And it's not like me to walk away from something real, but I'm feeling kinda stupid, cause it's not like me to fall in love with someone else's still. But when you laugh, you keep making my heart beating faster. Even when my whole life's a disaster, that's what you do so effortlessly. Even now I pray that I won't do something stupid or helpless. Promise I will do anything reckless, cause you are my most precious friend. Cause baby, in another life we would try again. Baby, when I close my eyes, we were more than friends. I can't help but realize that I can't begin to say things all to you. Cause I'd rather see you happy, even if it's with someone who isn't me. Cause you're so damn fucking lovely, and I won't lose you so lightly. Cause when you laugh, you keep making my heart feel excited. Even when my whole walls are divided, that's what you do so effortlessly. Even now I pray that I won't do something stupid or helpless. Promise I will do anything reckless. Cause you are my most precious friend. La 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 la. La 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 la. Na 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 na.
Wow! I mean, sounded like an angel from up above. I'm not going to lie, that was beautiful. That's a what?
First time he's performed live in 2 years.
So that second song was an original.
Yes, it was.
What was the inspiration behind that song?
It's a bit long-winded, but it was basically like, so I was like pretty cold into myself for as long as I remember, and then the one time that I did like fall for someone, it was someone who was already in a relationship, but I had already like been so like, I'd like invest in this person that I'd rather just be quiet and have this person in my life rather than lose them. So yeah.
Also you are an international student from Malaysia.
Yes, I am.
So coming over to the UK obviously is a huge culture shock.
Yeah.
How did you find trying to like integrate into the creative scene here at Warwick?
At Warwick, it's been slightly difficult. I feel like I tried joining some societies, so I felt like the music that they were doing was different to the music that I wanted to do. So I did my own, but then now seeing that we have this society, it'd be pretty cool to see other people like me and doing their own thing. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Thank you so much. Can we have another round of applause? So if you forgot a piece of paper with the order, sorry.
So next we have an amazing spoken word performance by Megha.
Megha Bauer.
Megha Bauer. Yes.
Megha Bauer.
I'm awful for pronunciation, but yes. Cool, so we'll give a round of applause.
Hi everyone, how are we doing? Woo! Awesome. So I'm going to perform spoken word for you today. I've been writing poetry for a really long time, and I guess I'll let my words do the talking for you and we'll see what you think. I've got a couple, so we'll see how I do. Okay. I was born a foreigner. My name does not fit your lips, and this language tastes sour. I have searched for my place, and even visited the land where my mother married in vermilion and my father danced in saffron. With history so rich, it would rain gold on the fields. Where kites would fly so high, high enough to hide the sun, and perhaps even hide me. From the questions that children asked. Why is my skin painted darker? Why does an accent drip from my words? Little do they know that I asked these questions to God in search of belonging. I cried, hurt, and I throbbed. Why could I not fit into the country I was from? And why could I not fit into the country I was born? I felt wrong, like salt against chewed lips and ginger catching in teeth. I hurt, and hurt. How can I belong when I cannot fit myself into this place where people ridicule my name, where my parents spent nights upon nights thinking of their most beautiful words to name their firstborn? Parents who worked until the moon rose to provide me with everything that they didn't have. How can I carry this name with pride? Seeing my mother fold away her saris to replace them with jeans, painting her lips with another language, struggling to spell, it makes me want to break apart this land and to scream into the ocean surrounding it. Where do I fit, I'd ask the sun. And do I belong, I'd ask the moon. But the earth replied, and she told me that my roots may be tangled, twisted, stretched and torn, yet they tie together two lands, broken apart. To search for belonging is meaningless. My home has always been this ground kissed by Mother Nature herself, born from lotus flowers and daisies, from the bumbling bazaars of India to the cold streets of London. My origin has always been the earth. Thank you. I'm going to perform a second piece, kind of leading on from the first theme, so thank you. The first time my grandmother slapped me, I was 4 years old. She asked me to make her tea, and I laughed and continued playing with Barbies and cars, and that was the day I learned that life was unfair. To be born a girl, a brown girl, is both a blessing and a curse. Childhood is a funny thing. I spent many summers in India, hot afternoons spent running in streets, laughing to the stars and whispering to the trees, but all of a sudden, the hair on my arms became unsightly. I'll never forget the day my cousin held me down while I cried as she waxed off hair from my arms, my legs, and she told me that I was a girl and that I would live like one. And she threw out my shorts and replaced them with long skirts, and I was 8 years old. Going to a private school, I was the only brown girl out of 360. No one ever said my name right. In fact, I changed it myself. I made it easier for them to say, and I lost another piece of myself, or maybe I gave it away. It gets hard when people ridicule your face, your language, your accent, and your color. This one time, a girl flushed my shoes down the toilet, and she said she didn't realize. She said that brown is the color of shit. And later that day, I was escorted home, asked to write an apology to her for throwing her against the wall. I grew to hate myself. Why was I so different? Why did I not fit in anywhere? I bought lighter makeup. I wore darker clothes, desperate to escape my own ethnicity. I locked away my saris and I pretended I only spoke English as I tried to fit the image of belonging. Desperate, so desperate. Returning to India for my brother's wedding, I felt relief. Maybe, just maybe, I could belong here. This was my home. This is what people had told me. But after walking through the doors, after traveling 18 hours, eager to see my family that I belonged with, my cousins looked at me and they scoffed at my jeans and they dismissed me as a foreigner. Look at her wearing Western clothes, they whispered. White wannabe, they called me. And I felt the thread snap inside me. I silenced my sobs and I beat my aching heart as my grandma, the same one who hit me when I was 4 years old, asked me if I was ready to meet potential husbands. At 16, I was lost, unmarried and free, but painfully lost. Who was I and what was I? Still at the same school, I ignored the taunts and I silenced my tears, and I would lie awake in bed and scream to God. Is there a reason I don't belong? Is it my color, God, tell me, is it my words? Is it my faith, God, tell me, please, I beg you. Did you make a mistake? God, please say you did. Give me a reason. You made people, but was I not meant to be? And I asked, but no answer was heard. And I fought, but no battle was won. And almost, I decided to give up. And standing at the line where it was so easy to let go, I realized that maybe the one who was wrong had always been me. And I healed and I learned to love the riches of culture and the beauty of my color. I am not a mistake, and it took me years and years to learn that. I learn more each day and I grow more each day, so I'm speaking to all of you, to all of my brown girls, to all of my people. Your worth has never been in your color and never in your race, never in your hand in marriage, but always for the words that you speak. And I speak of the life I've lived and the life that I now love, this skin and this culture I adore, and these words I speak are a token of my love, and this is what I have been through. Thank you.
That was beautiful, thank you so much.
So, I'll go spoken word by spoken word. So for the first piece, what was your inspiration behind that? Can you just give me a little bit of insight?
I guess a lot of inspiration came from when I was in school. I went to an all-girls private boarding school on a scholarship, so I wasn't very rich like the other girls, and I always felt like I was very different. And I guess I came to face these fears when I started university. I've never been in a place that's so culturally diverse, and I love it. I think it's amazing, and I think it gave me courage to start writing about what I've been through.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's like really interesting for me because I found like the opposite almost. Like I went to quite a multicultural school, and I came to university, and I think maybe just the way that I like interacted, I like just met a lot of white people, and no one really liked me. So that's really interesting. Sorry, people. Cool. So the second, where are you from? If you don't mind asking.
So I'm from India.
India.
Yes.
Oh, amazing. How like was there like a massive like even though you were born in the UK?
Yes.
Was like a bit of like a culture shock from being at home to then like coming to halls at uni, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. So I was president of Hindu last year. So I really wanted to take charge and speak to a lot of the brown girls particularly out there. And I think I remember when I was in halls, I was the only girl of colour in my halls in Upper Vic. And we had a Hindu event and I was wearing like cultural clothes. And I just remember the comments were very like, oh, that's so nice, or oh, what are you wearing, what are you doing? And I just thought that was ridiculous. So I think that was a particular difference I picked up on. But again, uni is what you make of it. I reached out and decided to meet people who did think like me.
The second piece, just the same question, and what was like your reason for writing the piece, and what's your inspiration for that?
I think my inspiration has always been my mom, because I guess it's very difficult being a first generation child to be born of parents of immigrants. I don't know if you guys can relate. And so for my mom, she's always been oppressed, and I've always felt oppressed. But I guess I've got the opportunity to talk about it and kind of take a stand against it, and I always wanted to do that. So uni's been the best platform for that.
Amazing.
Just want to say thank you so much. That was really brave. I don't know how you guys feel.
Yes.
Hard to tell personal stories like that, but at BAME Creatives, that's what we really want to get out there, so people that might not know about it can learn about our experiences. So thank you so much for that.
It's amazing.
Really hard to tell personal stories like that, but at BAME Creatives, that's what we really want to get out there, so people that might not know about it can learn about our experiences. So thank you so much for that.
It's amazing. Okay, cool. Next we have a bit of a tonal shift. We have advanced tap. amazing. My first question was just, how have you guys found it like interacting with other performance societies at Warwick? Like, have you found it easier?
For us, like, we're all about that, and we have our annual showcase pizzazz, which we invite, it's hosted by us, and we invite all the other dance societies. In Warwick, so I think we have 12 this year.
When is it, by the way?
It's the 16th of February. So like, that's why we were. Sorry, that's why we wanted to perform in this, because that's like what we're all about as well.
For sure. Cool.
I had a really big question. I was wondering if you could teach Johnny a couple moves.
We have a beginner taster at 6 p.m. tomorrow. That's
a drop out. Anyway, thank you so much, ladies. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're a snake.
Okay. Coming up next, we have another spoken word piece, and this one is by the wonderful Chiamaka.
Oh, sorry, I didn't prepare an introduction, so I'm just gonna. It starts with my heart drumming, then my head spinning, then my thoughts ending up in the same place they always do, asking the same thing it always does. Who looks twice at a twig in the ocean as the waves pull it back and forth, then under? Who looks twice when dandelions dance in the wind and watch it as it falls slowly to the ground? Sometimes I feel like I'm in space, like a live band could be playing at full volume, but it doesn't make a sound. It feels like my thoughts are trapped inside a vacuum, and as they rattle around, they stay within, so all anyone ever hears is a quiet hum. It feels like my life is the movie, but my anxiety are the subtitles, and people get so caught up in the action, they never look to see what's going on beneath. It feels like I'm Peter, and water is peace, and I keep walking on the waves, unable to submerge myself in it. There are so many poetic ways to say that I'm being eaten alive, and swallowed whole, and turned inside out. So many analogies I could use to describe how every step I take is a conscious decision, an active rebellion against my own mind. How I'm suffocated, how I'm constantly suffocated. But silence is easier. So I'll follow the steps, stick to the routine, feel my heartbeat calm, feel my fists unclench, and finally get ready to say that I'm fine.
Amazing. That was beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So I wanted to ask, what inspired you to use the medium of poetry in particular?
So basically, I wrote the poem for Afrofest, and it was basically...
Please, can you explain what Afrofest is?
Okay, so Afrofest, I think it's done annually, and it's done by ACS. It's basically a whole show. It's dancing, singing, poetry, everything, all of it basically. And then I took part in it this year. So yeah. And I wrote the poem because they asked me to, based off of her character. Her name was Amelia, and she had anxiety.
Okay.
Amazing. I just kind of like, people that don't really know how ACS functions and like what purpose it serves for you, like why did you want to get involved in something like Afrofest?
Okay, so basically, I'm an international student. I came from Nigeria, and I feel like I feel like I actually had immense luck finding ACS so fast than like finding Afrofest, because I always try and do something somewhat creative in whatever medium that I can, wherever I am. So I was just like, black people, whoa. Creativity. So yeah, it was kind of perfect, and like it's so helpful for, and it's such a good bonding experience as well, because it's how I have like the closest friends that I have right now, because seeing people every single day, like working with them, you have to be their friends.
I think Afrofest is such an amazing thing that we do here at Warwick, because it's a great opportunity to showcase a lot of BAME talent. Sure. So it's people from African and Caribbean backgrounds. So if you can next year get a ticket, and if you're from a society, maybe reach out to ACS and try and collab in the future.
Yeah,
sure. Things like that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we have another spoken word piece, and this is by Success and Maja.
If I always have to ask why wifey doesn't like me, then it's likely that if she bite back and if she fight me, she do so rightly and justly. And trust me, I wouldn't trust me. In this state, I disgust me. See, hell is other people, but the nausea is you. You who add sugar to the sauce, but put poison in the stew. And even from the first time, all her friends knew. I bring her decay and decline, not her revive and renew. Behold the woman, derelicted. I say come home now, but she's been evicted. I look through her things, even strewn on the floor. He that wants to make a queen a victim. I say I'm drowning in my troubles, but I want to make her drown too. But here the life of one is better than the death of two. When I should make her feel easy, I make her feel tight and taut. When I should make her feel valued, I make her feel sold and bought. I make her feel sold and bought, but I bring burnt bread made out of concrete flour. Every day I kill her for my lack of power. Think of yourself like Jesus on the cross. That nail in your left hand, that's my handiwork. So of a desert of suffering, a plateau of hurt. But the man who stands in no man's land is no woman's man. Now I see your inner being and outer being. Black woman crushed like coffee bean. But how you been? You've been too faded and too wasted. You've been abandoned and you've been hated. You've been caressed and stressed. But with me, you will always be underrated. And maybe in another life, I could rise out of the water, gasping for her, humbled by profound inner struggle and relentless out of strife. But that is not my right.
It's like every day I fight this heartache, and Lord knows I can't take any more heartbreak. And I don't know if this is love, but it doesn't feel that way. Love is not just about words, but about the actions that you demonstrate. And he doesn't even treat me like the queen that I am. But irrespective of that, I still attend to him as my man. I lost myself and I thought that I found myself in you. But now I realize that looking for yourself in someone else is something that we shouldn't do. Because I need to find myself before I can find you. I need to be strong in the forefront before I can be strong behind you. Because two broken pieces coming together doesn't fix the puzzle, it makes it more complex. But maybe it was selfish of me to join with you without knowing myself, I confess. So maybe we just need to take some time and take a minute to see what we're really trying to do and who we're really trying to be. Because it is so draining when a man takes but doesn't give. And I don't want to simply survive in a relationship, I want to live. I want to be free and not bound by these chains. I want to find my peace and not be a punching bag for his pain. And I know I chose to be in this relationship, so who am I to complain? But when your body is connected to someone else, your mind just doesn't think the same. I cannot raise a man, I cannot fix a young boy. It is not my job, my heart is not his toy to be played with and thrown around. I'm so sick and tired of this fight, I don't want to hear a sound. But don't get me wrong, there's no love lost. The love didn't fully fade. I just think that right now it's best for us to go our separate ways. But don't get me wrong, I will always wish you the best. I will always pray that God grants you with more life and more success.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. So that was originally written for AfroFest as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what characters did you have, and what was your inspiration for that?
Yes, so our characters correspond to two characters inside the play who are in an unhealthy relationship with this boy specifically being abusive. So our words are meant to represent some form of inner monologue on their part.
Nice, okay. And how did you find the whole collaborative process? Did you write it together? Did you write it separately and then come together?
I think we wrote it separately, and then we came together and just sort of figured out what worked best with each other. I think is what we did. Yeah, it was separate at first, and then we came together and sort of just said, okay, what will sound best as a collective. So we just thought we're going to do like the man's voice first, and then the woman's sort of final conclusion that she deserves better, because afterwards in the play she decides to like break up with him and just call it off.
So I'll make a comment. In case the message wasn't clear enough, what it's about is, aside from the literal topic, what I wanted to do was take conflicts which are already going on, which are, or I'll say what they are, but which are already going on, and then put them into language that we use every day, and then use that language in a way where if the poem was like a fabric, as it's read out, it's being torn apart. And that corresponds to the much larger conflict which tears things apart in a much more difficult to express way. And the other thing that I wanted to focus on was how people's own psyche can be turned against them. And as almost as a warning for people to be aware of this. And even if the internet use of king and queen is a bit overdone, if that's what you need to say in order to escape from these situations, then you should do it without even the slightest bit of remorse. And at this time, what I started thinking, and I'll say I will explain it, is that feminine coldness is a virtue.
Next up, we have two people that I know, obviously, Adi and Tia. Yeah, no, it's true. Just give me the thumbs up.
Don't want to feel you, don't want you on my mind. myself. Do I let you go? Do I keep you in the frame of my mind? Now I'm growing wise to your sugar-coated lies. Nothing sweeter than my misery, and I finally found what went wrong. I finally found the wrong in you. I finally found what went wrong. I finally found the wrong in you.
So,
That was amazing, thank you so much.
what made you guys want to perform in this showcase?
I mean, I think you guys are. We're cousins, by the way, guys. No, basically, I was approached by both Joe and Johnny to work with BAME creators and to be an AP on the Profoundly Affectionate, that production, which I'm really looking forward to. Plug.
Tickets out soon.
But no, I think when you mention the showcase, I just think the idea in itself is just something that Warwick needs and something that is just so topical right now as well. So I think me and Adi, I met her when I came to Warwick and I love her like a cousin. But no, we wanted to do something together and why not do it in the BAME Creative Showcase? So yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I think we were just both really passionate about like the reason behind this showcase and felt like it'd be fun.
Sick.
Amazing. Do you mind me asking what your heritage is? Both of you, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Israel, but I was born and raised in the UK.
And yeah, I'm Middle Eastern, so my dad's from Iraq. So.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have a lot of opportunities to kind of like explore that and express that on campus?
I actually, until recently, didn't feel like I did. And now I feel like a lot more like, I feel a lot more comfortable talking about it. I think when I first came to the UK, I had very similar to maybe what you said before, like I grew up in a really international environment, and when I came to uni I had a massive culture shock. I felt really, really different. And so, yeah, now slowly becoming more comfortable.
I think I've been quite lucky, really. I think I've had quite a positive experience, really, at Warwick, I think. And yeah, I mean, as much as like Middle Eastern culture is like really part of like my life, I've always lived in this country and everything, so I think for me, I didn't really experience that culture shock, but I can completely like understand and see how that could be a thing, so I think that's why this is really important.
Amazing, thank you so much. So coming up next, we have another spoken word piece by the wonderful Casilda.
You still want to go back?
So, I can't see anyone. I'm going to be doing 2 pieces, and they're both very, very different, so I hope you like them. Don't forget me on this day. Feel the wind, the leaves, the breeze. A stir within me grows as the sun light glows on our skin. Don't forget this on this day. Embrace the tingle from within. This is glorious, this is excellence. This brilliance encompasses our being. Flowers bloom as we open up and allow ourselves to be exposed. We trust these emotions and nature accepts us for it. Touch my hand, connect.
not with me, with us. The sky is our canvas, so look up and paint. Use my finger and trace, but let the sun guide your way. Don't forget, this is us. We are entangled and unraveled in and out of union with the universe. And waves they pour like torrents into the depths of our hearts when we are here. So promise me that you won't forget how the freedom of the birds and the hum of nature dwelled around and within us today. Thank you. And this second one, so basically, can't see the mic. Yeah. So basically, I'm doing a TED Talk on Wednesday, and basically it's all about being like, my little track to me of being a black person, also a creative, also a corporate. And basically, this is a little sneak preview because I'm actually performing this poem as part of the TED Talk. But essentially, it's just kind of looking at like the difficulties of navigating yourself when you feel like you're split between 3 different identities. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. A wrestling match between the different corners of me, sitting on the West Midlands train, green seat. I look out the window and I see open fields, and I wish to walk there and lie there. Open my soul to the nature that surrounds me. The sun kisses my cheek as I stare longingly at the scenery. But I set my way onto more meetings and interviews. Recently now through Higher View, the art of communication is recently broken because there's no longer time for real conversation. I'm candidate 1524 and I've arrived at the station. My fantasies of being free are temporarily locked in the crevices of my thumbs, so for now, my creative streak must go numb as I splurge out rehearsed answers to recruiters, plaster smiles on my face, and network. Because you must do that to climb the ladders in these spaces, and although now they care a little bit more about the colours of our faces, I'm still a checkbox, but apparently I've made it. Regardless, at this point, I don't really care. I've secured my role now. LinkedIn can get out of my hair. Every day, new feeds of internships, grad roles, progression, and every post to me feels like a lesson, urging me and telling me that you're not good enough. You're expected to be innovative, but their way. Be creative, but make sure it matches what we say. Don't step too far out of line because we don't have time for people that are not their sort of person. My personality doesn't match your criteria. I'm so sorry. Let me adjust it slightly. Is that better? Yes. You're hired. Do I want to be in a space that forces me to impose idealized concepts on my face? Because I want to be sad. I want to be mad. I want to be nervous. I want to be black. But I can't show that. Blackness isn't a trait that matches with their company culture. You're just a staple to fill a quota, so take it back. Suck it up. Swallow that black. Leave that stuff alone. This in the white man's space is their office, so remember your place. Everyone has a chair here, but mine is rimmed with gold. Everyone is heard here in this firm, but my words are written in bold. We value diversity and inclusion, but again, it's an illusion because it's run by an old white man again. Because we can't let blacks write the rules. There's power in that pen. And so, I listen, and I can leave my creativity at home. My blackness is raw and appreciated. No code switching. My blackness is not outdated in my space.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Well done.
Oh, thanks.
So, first piece, inspiration. That's the question.
My inspiration for the first piece was actually romantic poetry. So it's not like romantic poetry, but basically it's a movement of poetry in like I think the 1800s, I think, but I don't remember. But anyway, there's a lot of like
they describe things using like natural imagery and things like that, and I was really inspired by that. And so I wrote a poem that was in a similar style. So, yeah.
I think in the second one, what really resonated with me was the idea of like diversity in the workplace, and like the fact that there's a difference between diversity and inclusivity, and I think that the latter is the part that's really neglected. So I find it really hard to answer the question of like, how do we fix it?
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of tips or anything?
So actually, like my TED Talk kind of addresses what I think about it. So come on Wednesdays at 4:30 in Ramble. But I just think that the thing is with diversity, it's one of those, and inclusion especially, it's one of those things that in the workplace, especially black people, they feel like they need to conform to a more white culture. And I think that in order to truly get diversion and inclusivity, people need to be very open about where they're from and what they're like. One of the things that I talk about is hair. And I think hair is a conversation that's really like big in the ethnic minority community. And it's also one of those things that black people can get very frustrated with because like white people just ask funny questions about their hair and like it's really annoying. So I think it's one of those things, just allowing those like conversations to happen, and it's kind of like just being completely and originally yourself and just allowing things to flow naturally when you're in the workplace. I think that's important.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
So next up we have another amazing dance performance. Sorry, this one is exciting. From Intermediate Tap.
Just how I do it. Ready?
That was awesome. So how long have you guys been tapping, just out of curiosity?
I started tapping when I was about 7. I think, I feel like we were all kind of around then, right? Yeah. Some of us like 3, some of us a little bit later, but mainly around like childhood.
That's amazing. I think like what's like amazing about tapping for me is like with other like dances, like the choreo and like the visual is like so important. Like the sound for you guys, like if like the sound isn't right or out of time, then it's like so much more obvious. And I think like big coordinate is sick. But that's just what it is. Cool.
Okay, so since Johnny doesn't want to learn, I was wondering if you could teach the audience and I a little 2-step for the club that we can like do. A little simple.
The simplest thing.
A shuffleboard check. Okay, guys, please don't leave me hanging. Join in, please. Stand up, come on. Okay, right.
Oh wow.
Okay, Izzy, get up. Okay.
That's it.
So, the first thing in the tap is, this is the ball of your foot, and this is the heel. So, to do a shuffle, you're gonna brush the ball of your foot against the floor forward, and then backwards. So really, like, not getting your heel in it at all, just the ball of your foot. Has everyone got that? And then the second part is a ball change. So again, with the ball of your foot, you're just gonna step on one ball and change it to the other ball. So just go back and forth. That's a ball change. All together, you're gonna do a shuffle, ball change. That's beautiful! Beautiful! Well done, guys. You are all officially tap dancers. Section 6 o'clock. Sorry, when is it? Taster session. We have a beginner's taster session in the Westwood Dance Studio, which is literally just there. You made it here, you can make it there. 6 till 7 tomorrow night. And we'll be doing all the basics like that.
Awesome.
Perfect. So, okay, coming up next we have another incredible spoken word piece. This time it's by Lana Ray.
Hi everyone. So my name is Lana Ray and I'm also called verse writer. And for this piece I need your help because I like to make music in like real time and real space. So I need half of you here, so just from this line, half of you here to go Can I hear that please? I need you half to go Cool. Yeah, so I'm going to use my hands, I'm going to act like a conductor, and I hope you guys will like flow with me. So, okay. So when I leave you, don't, I should have said that, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Lovely. Oh, you guys are amazing. So, I need you to help me with this piece because I'm giving you a thank you speech, and when I say the line, I just want to say thank you. I need you to do what I said you should do, but this time I may not point at you, so we're going to practice one more time. Cool. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, you get it. Cool. So I need someone in the audience who's brave enough to just say something like, the winner of the award for playwriting is Lanare. Because I need to, yeah, can you just say that, please? Okay. I'm gonna act like this hasn't happened, like I'm just in the audience. We're in like the Golden Globes or something. And I'm gonna, yeah, can you say that, please?
Sure. And the Oscar goes to Lanare.
I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. To the man that said I should tie my laces when it was raining. I was aware they were done, but thank you anyways. I just want to say thank you. To the woman that offered me potato waffles. I had already eaten jollof rice, but it was nice of you to offer. I just want to say thank you. To the auntie I met at Vapiano's who said I have wonderful creative energy. You brightened my week. I just want to say thank you. To my mommy for following me to the bus stop. I had forgotten what bus stop goes to Northolt rather than Brimford, even though I have lived here for almost a year. But you did not complain as you dragged my suitcase and hugged me with a tear. I just want to say thank you. To my friend for buying me spaghetti at Vapiano's. I was planning on using my McDonald's voucher I caught from the Metro newspapers. Who does that here? And eating my usual chips and beef burger with nothing but beef and bread. But you gave me spaghetti bolognese with carrots instead. I just want to say thank you. To the stranger in Birmingham New Street that took more than one picture of my friends and I when I asked for pictures. It feels good to have options to choose from and not have to lie that the pictures are so nice. I just want to say thank you. Oh my god, I'm getting so emotional. To the gallery assistant and now gallery for giving my friend and I a tote bag, even though we didn't ask for anything. I like tote bags. I just want to say thank you. To Mrs. Obi for that extra spoon of rice, because you know I don't eat dodo or chicken. I needed that extra spoon to be satisfied. I just want to say thank you. To two girls who let me use their hotspot. School's Wi-Fi wasn't working and I had to find my class. To the girl, I just want to say thank you. At Ramfall, who searched for my class the next day because the same thing happened. I just want to say thank you. To the person that smiled back. If you hadn't smiled back, I wouldn't have even noticed because you thought I was smiling to you, but really you caught me smiling. I just want to say thank you. To my sister for always coming through. I just want to say thank you. To J. Cole for inspiring this thank you note. I know you called yours note to self, but this was mine to you. I just want to say thank you. To you all for creating music with me in real time. I just want to say thank you. To you all for creating music with me in real space, I just want to say thank you. To God for this gift of poetry and for giving me the name. My name is Lanare Aderemi and I am also called
Verse Writer.
Thank you. I'll be John. So this piece is inspired by a quote by Bell Hooks called "The Person Was Political," and it's called Ebony. But for this, I need you to hum as well, but it won't be the same humming, so it's fine. So it's more, go, go. Okay, so when I do this, can it be higher? So more like, okay, I can't even do the higher. Okay. I trust you, so let's try it. Okay, I trust you to have synergy. We're gonna go again. 1, 2, 3, go. Ooh, wow. Okay, again. Okay, when I do this, then you stop. Okay, we're gonna go ebony. So when I say ebony, you do that, and then I'll continue. So anytime I say ebony, you do that. 1, 2, 3, go. Ebony. Associate the word ebony with the tree ebony. Notice how the tree has a smooth finish when polished. Imagine a world where black women weren't punished. So for a few seconds, ebony, just shut up and listen. I remember when asked, what's next? Replied with master's, PhD, this man said, when would you settle down, you career woman? The thing about black women is that we are always told to click pause. Always told to wait our turn. Told we are extra, loud, aggressive, and angry as though we are angry for nothing. Ebony. Associate the word ebony with the tree ebony. Notice how the tree is vital for commerce. Notice how black women are as well. Except we are commodified and vilified and exoticized, and like the tree, we are at risk of extinction. From being cut down by patriarchal chainsaws, which then tell the forest full of other ebony. Full of other ebony trees to be silent. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thanks so much. Another round of applause. So, obviously we know each other quite well. And the second poem actually can be found on a really amazing track that you did. So do you want to play that real quick?
I had an EP that I made with my friend who's a rapper in 2018. So it's called Asian History, and it's basically about just educating people about black people's history and genealogies of resistance, constantly trying to trace those resistance and those stories that history has made invisible but are really visible. But yeah.
So where can people find it?
So it's on every streaming platform.
Okay, so what would they type in?
Oh, Asian history. Or you can search, if you just search for Let's Writer on Google, it will be there.
Amazing. Okay, so as I know you're a very busy gal, you had a sold out show at the Warwick Arts Centre. So what's next for you?
Well, oh yeah, actually I can plug this. So this is actually exclusive news that you guys are hearing. I'm doing like a Black Girl Hair Festival on the 4th of February, and it's just similar to what Kesoda said about the political resonance of black women's hair. I think for me it's important to show that. So I'm having a festival where I'm screening my poetry film called Change Your Style, and it's a film that I've worked on with my friend Jennifer and Yomi, and Olamide as well is in the film.
I'm in it, I am.
So it's on the 4th of February, it'll be on Facebook, so you can check there. And I guess I'm just working on how I can like constantly push the limits of my poetry, because I'm really interested in, I like it when people say, what is your thing? Is it poetry, is it music, is it art, is it play? Because it's those questions of disrupting the binary that makes me want to produce even more art. So I'm just looking to push forward with my art and redefine what poetry can and cannot be. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And coming up next, we have a very special performance by Mr. President himself, Johnny.
I'm sorry, this is so narcissistic.
Food, drought and famine, natural disasters. My baby has been around for me. Kingdoms have fallen and angels become. None of that could ever make me leave.
look into your eyes, I see that you're all I need. Every time I get a bit inside, I feel it. Who would have thought I'd get you alone? Who would have thought I'd get you alone? And when we're making love, your cries that can be heard from far and wide. It's only the two of us now, and everything I need's between those thighs. Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. It's you're all I need. Every time I get a bit inside, I feel it. Who would have thought I'd get you? No. Oh yeah, oh yeah, but who would have thought I'd get you? No. This feels like summer. God, you make me feel so alive. Just be my lover. God, you lead me to paradise.
Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. So, obviously, as president of BAME Creatives, I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about your inspirations behind it and what really pushed you to make it.
Yeah, so this is like quite a personal thing for me. I know plenty of people have already heard it before, sorry to repeat myself. But I was in a mindset last year because of the way that diversity was in like musical theatre and drama in general, where I did a show last year in term 3, and my grandma came up to me at the end, and she was like, I loved it so much. Like, who's the other brown boy in the show? I was like, oh, it's Vikram. And she was like, well, where's the rest of the like coloured people? And I was like, do you know what, Grandma? I don't actually know. So then that kind of like, even though I say it in a comedic way, kind of like made me think a lot, for like 7 months. And then, unfortunately, I was in Edinburgh doing a show, improv musical, and it was made all more aware to me that I was different from everyone else. When I was racially abused on stage by some drunk white lady, which was fab, really uplifting. And yeah, that like, in that moment, I just thought to myself, no, fuck this, I'm done with this stuff. Like, I can just have a chill year for a 3rd year. I actually need to do my degree for once. And like, fuck everything off. I have a house that like is all drama, so I can like still hear about what's going on with them and go see stuff, but I shouldn't be involved. And then all it took was just like a lot of crying, some Ben and Jerry's, because I am, to make me think that actually I should take what I went through and turn it into something positive for a big group of people, because I would hate in like 3 years from now for someone like me to come to uni and just think, oh shit, I really love doing musical theatre, but I'm too coloured, so they don't want to do it. So I just never want that to happen again. So this is why the society's been created. Because, I don't know, in my mind, in my delusional mind, when I was like so upset, I just thought if there was someone else on stage with me that was like the same race as me, had a similar experience, I just turned to them and be like, yo, this woman's like heckling me, calling me a brownie and stuff. And then I actually would have had someone where I thought, okay, I can go to someone. So hopefully, with what we're doing, which is like going really well, people will have that person to turn to. I think that's really long-winded, but yeah.
I think I speak on behalf of so many people here where to say thank you. Like, I know there's a lot of people like me that came like loving drama but just felt kind of lost and didn't know how to quite integrate into it. So creating something like this is so important and I'm so thankful for it, and I know all these beautiful different faces are so thankful for it, and I just hope we can continue to do the good work that we're doing.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure. We have one more performance left. It's weird, I'm already up here to host. Amazing. We have one more performance left, but I just want to say before that, I'm really thankful for everyone for coming, because obviously it's just sick, turnout's been sick. So yeah, but without any further ado, enough about me. We
have the ACS group for another spoken word piece to close the day.
The poets.
The poets, they're called the poets. Can I just say the open mic night will be after this bit, so start thinking if you're going to perform. What song?
This one. The same one, John.
Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
I am alive, but I am not awake. This I am is a line running through me, a river which divides and denies and cuts right through me.
Who am I? And what do I see when I look at myself? Because you're not like anyone else. I'm in a constant battle between being a woman and a person of colour. Why is it always one or the other?
Because you're not like anyone else. I am.
More than what they make of me.
I am.
More than who they say I am.
I am.
Who I want to be. I am a woman no weaker than a man. I am a strong woman, a black one at that. But don't stereotype me by these facts. I am my own person, an island I stand. Strong in my ambitions and strong in my life plans.
I am black. I am man. I am woman. I am free. I am happy, sad, scared, and why must I separate my many forms? Distilled and filtered by the heat of society's mold. Labels pierced into the depths of my soul. My mum says I'm.
My teacher says I'm.
My friends say I'm.
My dad says I'm.
My identity is an interaction between my gender and my race, which for the years I've learned to embrace.
Because you're not like anyone else.
I've blossomed. Despite the patriarchy and institutionalized racism,
I've blossomed.
I have and will continue to shatter the glass ceilings of society. Who are you? And what do you see when you look at yourself?
Because you're not like anyone else.
Or who are you? How many times have I asked such a question? My thoughts I dissect and think what a collection of different sections of my intellectual property. An unknown dark figure I see in this mirror. Like some game this character is not unlocked yet. Who am I if I haven't reached this goal I've set?
I am ambitious, but I doubt myself at times.
I am
fiercely loyal. My mom taught me to take care of mine, and if you seek, you shall find. That's why I always ask. Ask and you shall receive, to me a simple task. And I fear failure because my name is success. And in certain fields, always striving to be the best, like poetry. I want to be the best poet. I want to understand certain things and not just know it.
Now the colonizers are the non-understanding parents, the ones that see but never listen, and hear but never fully understand. It feels like we are the children of a deadbeat dad, one that decided that we are what? Instead of a who, a place instead of a people.
We are borders, we are lines, we are easy to define.
We are
Afro-Caribbean,
created for convenience, and maybe that shouldn't be such a bad thing, because a label is a tool, but so is a knife. And look how much damage that does in the wrong hands. Look how we bleed out our identities. Look at the scars from generations of being instructed in what we are. Because we're not like anyone else.
We're from the same lineage as Queen Sheba, Nanny of the Marines, and Harriet Tubman.
Huey P. Newton, Thomas Sankara, and Malcolm X.
You're blessed and highly favoured.
And your presence should be forever savoured.
Because you're magical.
You're black and you're beautiful.
My black woman.
My black men.
We're not like anyone
else. And maybe I'm not your average person. I overthink more than most. My confidence isn't cocky. I don't feel the need to boast. But guess what? I am me and no one else. I know a lot of people cannot say that for themselves. And every day,
I find myself more.
And figure out my identity.
Realize that myself and this world are two separate entities. Simply realizing that
I am me.
And there is no one else I can be. And irrespective of what this world may say, I stand strong in my affirmations and I say,
I am strong.
I am confident.
I am kind. And anything I want to achieve in this life I can because this world is mine.
I am the son that claims to walk at right angles to the right life. I am the daughter who claims to walk on water but slips on ice. We are not like many.
We are like few. We know who we are, but who are you?
That was so powerful, thank you so much. So I know that this group was created for Afrofest purposes, but going forward, where would you like to take the group? Do you want to keep going, hopefully?
Yeah, it's kind of funny we say that because as we met today, I was just saying that we should all kind of stick together, maybe do a collaboration.
I mean, we think that
Yeah, it would be nice.
How have you guys found being a BAME creator at Warwick so far?
It's been interesting, I'll say, because when I first came, I joined the ACS straight away, and it was just amazing to see how much talent there was. So during the whole of Afrofest, you just see how everybody will be doing their degree during the day, but then at night, everybody just kind of comes alive. They show their creative side, essentially, and it's just beautiful to see that people didn't shut themselves away from doing whatever they love. And it was just, it made me kind of come out as well, mainly because I'm kind of shy myself. I don't perform at all. So during the whole of Afrofest, being introduced into the drama, the dance, and then doing spoken word as well, just seeing how they were very supportive of, if you have a talent, come out and just perform.
Thank you so much, that was a great way to end. So, the open mic segment is officially open. Can I just get a show of hands? Who wants to come up and perform?
So true.
I can't really see, I'm not gonna lie. Is that a hand? No? Okay. Anyone? Don't be shy. Okay, first up we have Vic Reb, whose hand was up, so let's go.
Hey guys, I'm Vikram. I'm Johnny's grandma's other brown boy. So a little throwback. I'm gonna sing. Oh, before I do though, I have a really bad voice today, so it's probably gonna sound a bit shit. But please clap at the end. Girl, I'm in love with you. This ain't the honeymoon, past the infatuation phase. Right in the thick of love, times we get sick of love. Seems like we argue every day. I know I misbehaved and you made your mistakes, and we both still got room left to grow. And though love sometimes hurts, I still put you first, and we'll make this thing work. But I think we should take it slow. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go, 'cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. Oh, this time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. Oh, this time we'll take it slow. This ain't a movie, love. No fairy tale confusion, y'all. Gets more confusing every day. Sometimes it's heaven sent, then we head back to hell again. Kiss, then we make up on the way. I hang up, you call. We rise and we fall, and we feel like just walking away. And as our love advances, we take second chances. Though it's not a fantasy, I still want you to stay. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go, 'cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow.
Can we ask you some questions?
Hey.
So obviously you were a huge part of the creation of BAME Creatives as well. Do you want to tell people your role and how you came to be in it?
Yeah, so my official title is Productions Manager, which is fun. So I'm in charge of basically the studio slot in the Warwick Arts Centre this year, which is called A Profoundly Affectionate, Passionate Devotion to Someone.
Brackets dash noun bracket.
Yes. We're involved with it heavily. We've got our lovely director in the audience, Shaq. And our assistant director, Lemonade. Not just a pretty face, you guys, she's amazing. And we've got loads of people involved. Loads of people of colour, which is what we like to see. But yeah, I got involved with this society over the course of the summer. Johnny sent me a message and was like, hey, this is a problem. I was like, yeah, it is. He was like, should we do something about it? I was like, yeah. So here we are. It's amazing to see how far we've come in such a short space of time, and I think that's genuinely just down to the dedication of this brilliant boy over here. So yeah, you have him to thank.
Lie. I don't have anything else to ask.
I think just a bit more on Profoundly is going to be on during week 9, and we secured a slot in the Warwick Arts Centre. So please do buy your tickets, come along and support.
Yeah.
The tickets sound here?
Ticket will be out soon. But big thanks to Drama Collective and everyone else that made that happen, to Woods as well for funding the show. So Profoundly Affectionate is about 3 separate couples who are struggling to communicate in BAME relationships, and looks at how a BAME relationship is different from that of a white relationship or anything else, and it's something that's really passionate to us, because it really explores the home life and how things can be different in different people's homes but have the same outcome, and based on culture, which I think is really interesting. So hopefully you'll also be there for that. But yeah.
Sha, did you want to say anything?
You said it all.
Okay, perfect. Cool.
In terms of MGW stuff, because it's awesome to be showcased, we have an amazing internet scene. We have Ensemble, which is every week, which is kind of like this kind of atmosphere of like it's really chill, like everyone's like just looking to have a great time. But they have a showcase like this every term, so you can perform like things from musical theatre or other stuff. Let's be open. And we also have auditions for another show called Dr. Faustus, which are, I think, very soon.
This week?
This week, I've been told by the press. Which is great. But make sure to follow the BAME Creators page on Facebook, because we have more stuff coming out over the next coming weeks, including a radio show, hopefully some workshops and some talks and discussions, which should be really sick.
We are called BAME Creatives, but there are more than just the people on the exec who are people of colour who create stuff. A lot of those people are in this room, a lot of those people have been on the stage tonight. So what we would say is that if there is something that you want to do, something you want to put on, you want to meet people, you want to talk to people, you want to get involved, you want to create a better future for yourself as a person of colour or otherwise, please talk to us. We want to collaborate, that's what we're all about. You can message us on Facebook, you can find us on Facebook, we've got other exec in the audience as well. But please come and talk to us because we want to work with you and we want to work with your friends and we want to work with your friends' friends and their friends too.
But yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much to everyone who performed. Thank you for being such a great co-host.
Thank you for being a great co-host.
Big up for these guys, come on. Big up.
If you liked a performance, go up to them, tell them they did well. Let's network, mingle, all that good stuff.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank
guys
you.
for coming. We know that was a bit longer than we said, but that's good. Okay.
Thanks.